This shows the oil also. This column is for the engines. It shows the fuel for both engines, left, right, and then shows the oil temperature and the oil temperature. This shows where the aircraft is turning left or right. We call it the turn and slip indicator. This shows the amount of hours that you fly. It's a clock. Then this is the RPM. Once you put in the throttle, this RPM increases. This is the airspeed. It shows the speed at which you're flying. This is the rotor. It shows also the speed at which you're flying. This is the heading or the compass. It shows in
what shows the weather situation?
The weather situation. The weather situation. We have it digitally. Okay. We have it digitally. It shows the weather situation. This shows the altitude, the height at which you're flying at. This shows also the artificial, the horizon. It shows the height above the ground. This shows the altitude when you're up. This shows the height above the ground. That's why it has brown and sky. Ground and sky. This is also a heading indicator, or call it a compass. This is the VORS. We do it when we are landing at night. We use this instrument to give us the approach of the runway when you're not seeing. This is the rate of climb. At what rate are you climbing at? 500, 200, 300. This is the altimeter, the altitude it will give you after showing you the rate. This is the navigation. Navigation, it gives you navigating. That's how they track you. The control tower, you press this, it is the GPS. They be seeing you on their radars. Today we are here for the National Science Week, organized by the Secretariat of Science and Innovation and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Office of the President. We are here to showcase our services in flight simulators designed and made by Wama Aeros here in Uganda. Flight simulators are training devices that help people who want to learn about flying, who want to learn about aviation, prepare them before they join the aviation schools. But they can also be used by the pilots. They can be used on an individual basis. They can be owned privately. They can be owned privately by whoever who wants to learn about flying. So today we are showcasing different aircraft simulators. This one in particular is the Bell Helicopter 206, mainly used and operated here in Uganda and in other parts of the country. It's a simulator that helps everyone who wants to learn how to fly a helicopter. You can start with this and you fly this helicopter. On the other side, we have the Air Traffic Control Center that we designed, again, here at Wama Aeros in Uganda. Then we have the Cessna 172, also one of our designs. In other designs that we didn't come with today, we have the Boeing that is operational as a simulator, and it can be used as well. So that is the reason as to why here we are showcasing our innovation in aviation through manufacturing simulators that can be used, training devices that can help the aviation sector. Very cheap and reliable and affordable.
How best are these services accessible to the people out there who are basically maybe in aviation?
Yeah, the people who are in aviation access these equipments through our headquarters here in Katwe. They access these simulators, but also we provide them, those who want, they can be purchased. We sell them. We sell them to people who need them, aviation training schools, individual private people, pilots, even people who are not in aviation but they want to learn about flying. We sell these simulators. We have plenty of them and we manufacture many of them.
Layout ya that's where you're going. So we are going. We already up. Yeah. So what would you like to know?
Like, how would I say?
So what you were looking at is a flight simulator of a bed. The bad and the gyro and the parameters. These are the radios. We have the COM standing for communication, and we have nav standing for navigation. Then we have ADME, distance measuring equipment. Then we have the ADF, automatic direction finder, and we have the squawk. Right, and this is the autopilot. This is the switch panel. Okay, the set of the switch, and this is the navigation aid. Where we file a flight plan. Okay, then we fly. We file a flight plan. Then we fly. And this is the collective. This one you see down here. The collective. It will help you lift off and descend. Okay, this is called the cyclic. All right. This one, it will help you turn. See, come, turn. See, all right. Are we together? Then this is called the anti-torque. All right, anti-torque. Flying helicopters is fun, but it's something somehow intricate. It's not something very easy to come by. Okay. Because you have to do a lot of things simultaneously. Okay. So for instance, if I say I'm turning right, then all of a sudden I have to use my feet, and I have to be at the same time very sensitive with the collective. Okay. We don't just stand negligently like that. Okay. So when we want to go forward, we push the cyclic in front. All right. Then we see we're pushing forward, and this is it. Let me show you. You may see out here that you are not doing any activity, but actually you're really flying. Have a look. There you go. That's how we are. There you go. Okay? And this is where we are. Okay?
People embracing such activities.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's just it's been at a low pace, and people are just starting to embrace it. We are looking at how easing the whole process of flight training, because grooming a pilot is one of the hardest things that you may come by. Okay, but with flight simulation that we have, we are easing the whole process of flight training. Actually, if you can fly this thing, okay, the way I am, then you can actually fly the real aircraft. Okay, yeah, fly the real aircraft. So this industry has a lot of challenges. First of all, the hardware itself is very expensive. The hardware is very expensive, and after having put it together, looking at the consumers, the market itself is also quite challenging. So, but that doesn't deter us from doing what we're supposed to do. We are here to serve, okay? And we know as time goes on, people will embrace the technology, will like it, and we really thank the department that we fall in, like the aeronautical department. They've really done a lot of work and sensitization. The STI as a bureau or a ministry, they've also done a very tremendous job putting organizing such expos, so that at least we can bring our products on the market at a large scale, so that people can really look at and get to understand. Really, simulators are something new here in Uganda. Can you imagine? You can find someone coming here and say, "What's this?" He doesn't know. And you shouldn't blame him, not one, because this is somehow technology that is really just starting to advance into Africa. But it's a good piece of hardware that will ease the whole process, because the longer you take at flight school, the more cost that you incur. Okay. So to bring on pilots that are on top notch, we need simulators. There are situations that scenarios that we cannot. So yes, the situation and scenarios that we cannot perform on actual aircraft, like engine failure. You cannot risk kill an engine for the sake of practice. Okay, but here you can kill an engine and do your drill to perfection until you get it right. The simulator does it. And when it comes to IFR, instrument flight rules, you cannot encounter certain scenarios of weather in an actual aircraft, because you don't know when they're going to happen. All right. Now, what you do, you simulate them here in the simulator. Okay. Like thunderstorms, when you're flying, then all of a sudden you can bump yourself into a thunderstorm. The simulator does the trick. You say. It's a training ground for incoming pilots, at the same time actual pilots. For instance, okay, pilots tend to have recent training. You use a simulator, and a simulator is much less costly. The rates are lower than the actual aircraft, because the actual aircraft, you need to pay insurance for that day. If you are stepping in an actual aircraft, then you've incurred insurance. You have to pay for the gasoline of that day. You have to pay for the instructor. You have to hire the aircraft itself that day. Okay. And the school or the owner of the aircraft himself has to get paid at the end of the day. So you look at all this put into account. Bring on ambiguity in terms of money, okay? And what we do, we tend to have hours of flying, so you know each and every hour how much you're going to really pay, okay? First, just a simple drill. So here is how simulators really come in play, okay? They come in play, here you just pay a one-time cost, and you learn everything, okay? It's almost the amount of money that you would have paid when actually you're in an actual aircraft. So the advantages are there. Simulator is the way. Simulation is the way to go. And I wouldn't advise student pilots out there to just come and bump yourself into an aircraft before having simulator sessions, because you have one soul, you have one life. Okay, the 6% of coming up from nowhere, then bumping yourself into. Okay, it applies and we went through it, but the modern way of doing things, you see, we try to minimize risk, okay, as far as we can. We try to minimize risk. So when you sit in a simulator, there's no risk that is involved. Yet you're acquiring the same knowledge, the same basics, the same procedures, okay, and also simulators help on muscle memory, okay. You see, now we're flying. I kept my plane in straight and level. See, everything is okay, It's like, because this is a skill. Once you acquire the skill, it's hard to lose the skill. You just come and polish it, okay? Then you pick it up from there. Okay, I know how to swim, but I've taken years without swimming. So that means if I am to go back to swim, it takes me around 10 to 15 minutes, and I pick up the skill of swimming. So simulators are very good, ladies and gentlemen, out there. Let's even not debate on it. They are very good. They are cost-friendly, okay, risk-free. Cost-friendly, risk-free. And they are here to solve a problem, okay? There are very, 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 very many problems that are involved with flying, okay? But when we have simulators, those problems are almost slashed to negligible. Now the problem of risk, okay? When you go out with a student pilot, the owner of the plane is always and he won't even have good lunch because he don't know if these guys have really gone and come back. Okay. So with simulation, it's very good, and I would advise you as pilots out there, kindly, you want to learn how to fly in the fastest way possible and the safest way possible, please come join simulation. Then after having had at least a minimum of 6 hours in a simulator, then go and put what you've learned in a simulator into an aircraft, in an actual aircraft, then the whole story is top notch. The other thing is that let's embrace this technology when it really comes in handy. Okay, we shall minimize accidents. We shall cut the costs. Okay, a lot of things have to get involved here. We have to find a solution, okay, on how to increase the number of pilots in a country, and the only way to do it is through simulation.